In any culture, at any time in history, it is generally the case that people aren't aware that they're in that culture. In the medieval period, people didn't know that they were living in a scholastic, intellectual world, but they were. Scientists, to give you their predictions, the opportunity or the danger, the opportunity is gone and or the danger has hit you. This is a huge intellectual thing that we all need to grasp. And that is, life as it is lived is more complicated and more fast-moving than the intellectual methodologies that we have. What do you do with that? I think that the difference is that this science is reaching up to here, but up here, it's not a science, it's an art. It's the art of statecraft, or the art of the CEO.
A very important book that came out about it that you ought to take a look at. It's called The Crisis of Democracy. It's published by the Trilateral Commission. Trilateral's Europe, United States, Japan, the three industrial democracies. The concern of the book is that there's too much democracy. The concern about the fact that in the 60s, in all the industrial world, there were popular uprisings of one sort or another. The participants said is we have to have more moderation in democracy. These people have to go back to where they belong, just being observers, passive, let the serious people run things and so on. And in particular they were concerned about students, of course, because there were student activism all over. And what they argued was that, I'm now using their words, not mine, that the institutions responsible for the indoctrination of the young failed. The schools, the universities, the churches, they were not carrying out appropriate indoctrination of the young. And something has to be done to reverse this. And there were other proposals for other bad segments, women, others, and so on. Well, what do you do with regard to the institutions responsible for the indoctrination of the young? You have to eliminate the options that students or young people had that enabled them to engage in activism.
You stand back and you look at the whole thing, the entirety, and in military terms, it's kind of the eye of command. You can see this in Julius Caesar at the beginning of Caesar's book on the Gallic Wars. You get the sense that Caesar is looking at the whole terrain, the whole theater, from Rome up into what we now know as Switzerland. He sees the whole thing as though he's in an airplane, looking down on it.
First. So now, at age 37, Bush is just beginning what he hopes will be a long career in politics. When George P. Bush stepped off his campaign bus in Midland, Texas last week, the first-time candidate looked like someone who's been in politics all his life.
We're glad to have you back.
And in one sense, he has. His father is Jeb Bush, former governor of Florida. His uncle is former President George W. Bush.